My impressions on Exoprimal are very, I would say, mediocre because I've played hero shooters before. I played Paladins, Overwatch, Smite, a little bit of League of Legends, and this game is basically like when you water it down in the most unflattering way, it's the same game, only you're wearing a mech suit fighting dinosaurs with guns and weapon accessories, and it's a fun premise. I majoritively played Deadeye. Let me can I go in because I want to like at least like share what I went through during my experience, but um, system error. Return to title. So does that mean my does that mean my trial is up? So I can. Okay, cool. So I can't really show it, but during the majority of the game, I played Deadeye as soon as I got the skin for Ryu. But I was playing Barrage for a good majority of it because I liked the concept of like a grenade launcher, and to be able to shoot with Ryu was kind of fun. Although I do wish that the taunt of Hadouken was an actual like disruptor because in Monster Hunter you can do a Hadouken and it'll disrupt the monster that's coming at you. So that's pretty cool. It's considered an attack. So if you time the Hadouken correctly, you can allow stun to occur. So that was kind of like a fun Easter egg and like a fun thing skill you can do in Monster Hunter. But overall, yeah, this is simply a situation where I'm playing a shooter, and I have the option to play one of several suits. But the problem with it already is that there is a limit as to what suits I can use because I would have loved to play the heavy artillery guy as much as I want to, but the problem was going between uh, venting the heat and doing everything else. Because if I was able to like if I had an easier time venting the heat, then, or if it vented the heat on its own by itself, that'd be really good. That'd be really cool. But it didn't. So for the external like for the artillery, I didn't like that aspect. But I wanted to try the shotgun dude. But the problem is with the shotgun dude is that it was behind a paywall and behind the experience cap because I needed to max out the level of the artillery guy first before getting the opportunity to buy it with Bitcoin, with Bit tokens. And I don't have time for that. This is a free weekend, and I want to see what this game is like. And this game is fairly good. There's if I remember correctly, there is what's the, what are you checking? There's a collaboration coming on in a little bit for Monster Hunter where it's going to be skins for what is it? Map. Where is it? Where is it? So it's going to be definitely for the Samurai and the Vesper instead of Guile. You get to be transform. I hope you can transform that person as like a dual wielding blader, and it's a fun game. It's really fun. Can you not? I know you're not working because my time to play the free weekend is up. However, there's just a lot of things like during Sunday. It was definitely a really I had a difficult time just trying to like get games connected. I was required to like uninstall and reinstall the game, and then the connection issues after turning off the crossplay were gone. But then I had, of the 2 days I got to play this game for free, I only came across one actual player. And the majority of times we were just fighting bots, but that might be behind a skill wall, behind a paywall, where they want, even though like the game is basically a hero shooter, you PvE, PvP competition to fight against dinosaurs and dinosaur hordes against the rogue AI Leviathan that occurred in the events of 2040. There is that that's the scene, and it's really cool. But for some, but like as like, but like I even mentioned it during my Steam review where I didn't like the idea. I mean, you're gonna just keep doing that anyways. So I'm gonna make this bigger. The biggest problem came from like a situation where I had an issue where the matchmaking took longer than several minutes at a time, and then it was like it wasn't good. It wasn't good in terms of the loading times, but the heroes, the exosuits you got to use were really fun. I really enjoyed a bit of everyone. I tried a bit of everything during the first and second stream. I was able to be one of everyone. I didn't get a chance to be the witch doctor, which was my mistake. Because I don't know. I thought of being the fairy, and the fairy was pretty fine. I wish I could have played the uh, vagrant, just because I want to know what sniping feels like. I want to know what using a heavy boy samurai feels like. I want to know what being a tracer with Hot Wheel legs would feel like. But they were locked behind a paywall and a skill cap, because you can definitely grind out the time it would take to get to that point where you can unlock it. But then that would mean I would have had to start it on Friday to then complete the game by today, and that's just like too bad. Some of the recent posts recently, people were like downvoting it recently. So let's see. The most helpful in the past 30 days has one recommend to one not recommended. One recommend. So it's pretty split down the middle. So I know the game on the Steam page says mostly positive, but in recent reviews, including myself, I wonder if I can show it. Yep, here it is. In recent posts, let's see, played over the free weekend and put in just 17 hours. Played every suit, 70% up to at least the first mod, and frankly wouldn't buy the game unless it was heavily discounted. Really? So yeah, like they took the opportunity to play the game as much as they could, but the the more interesting and varied parts of the game are locked behind a skill wall, a paywall. Let me see what they say more. There was one mission that was different after level 10, as it was story based, and since then, nothing else new or interesting happened. That's too bad. Oh, okay. You had matchmaking that put well. Then again, I didn't have 17 hours under my belt, so I didn't come across what they were feeling. But that's too bad. Boring, grinding, depressing. I'm sorry. Uh, Chaser said, "Game had a weird grainy feel at any setting." Yeah, actually, when I put my game, um, when I was trying to play put the graphic settings and everything, I was close to maxing out the graphic capacity. So either I had to buy a different computer or buy different parts if it meant for me to commit to this game. So already with my rig, I was maxed out. Maybe somebody else had a better rig that can lower the performance. And like I would assume, if my graphics wasn't so very taxed, I could have had more chances to play more games. Game had a can't play this game without an online account, and yeah, I had to like sign up for a Capcom account, and I think that might be normal. That might be normalized because maybe that's something you have to do with Street Fighter. I don't know. That's the most Capcom thing I can think of that requires that involves cooperative like Street Fighter. Street Fighter is what I know Capcom for. So if they had a Capcom account, that makes sense in correlation to Street Fighters, maybe. But can't play the game without an online account, and Capcom can't even be bothered to send a password reset. Locking you out. Oh, you couldn't even play it because you were locked out? Man, that's too bad. I'm sorry. I went in blind and yeah, me too. I went in blind too. I went in blind and thought the game was gonna be like EDF, but with dinos. Why would someone ever pay for this? Yeah, like I love the chance to try it out, but like, what's EDF? But I can see where like it's really repetitive, it's boring. When you put on randomized PVE, PvP, majority of the time, the final mission, you're going to be progged to fight against a bot team that is hopefully a 5v5, right? But I've been playing, I played bots for the majority of my game. So I kept getting victories. So it just got kind of boring, like, which I do agree. One of the most boring nothing games I've ever played. These are recent. Jeez, this is during the free weekend. Is there any positive accounts during this free weekend, man? Oh, cool. This game is seriously so damn good and fun, specifically with friends. So yeah, so I can see where the target audience might have been just person and friends, because the experience of like having a squad is really good. It's really fun. This is a game where it's a multiplayer focused game where it's a 5v5 situation. So you and four friends can play this game, and you can survive against the horde of dinosaurs at the whim of an artificial AI. That I understand where that makes sense, but the problem is like, if you can't get that, I was actually lucky enough to have an experience with like that melee player, as you guys saw. It's a really cool game in general. Feels like playing Team Fortress 2 back in the day when you are in PvP and going against the dinos with your team. Seeing the swarm reduced is great. The season pass stuff is all cosmetic, but this is still always an always online game. Yeah, you have to be online to play it. You can't just have it offline mode or localized to like really enjoy it. And that's might be an issue to where the majority of games nowadays, you can't, even if you were to buy the game, you can't actually play the game unless you have an online connection, online accounts. Everything is tied into your online presence to play the game, and you may not even enjoy it. That's like the sad part about it. It's hard to justify purchases for a game that might eventually be shut down and just be gone. Yeah, like, it's hard to see how long this projection is gonna go. I do agree that playing it during the free weekend was absolute blast. Yeah, because the future of this game is very troublesome, because we scrolled across a lot of recent players that didn't like the game. Because yes, it's mostly positive, but in just this past weekend, not many people recommend it. Yeah, and like this last recent one from today, had this game on free trial. Is it worth $60? Not really with the Steam account. Went hard for 9 hours, enjoyed 3 mechs, couldn't get myself into the others. The Horde mode had 4 different maps with 8 different directions. Teams did experience I experienced a lot of bot teams. Yeah, they would slow you down, because there were a couple times where I would die, and that's because either a heavy or another person wouldn't be fighting next to me. But the robots are really great at healing you, not so much as helping you win the match sometimes. Because the majority of the times, if it's not my character, then it's my chance. You have no chance. And like, when I was playing the Dino, I would have been more discouraged to use the Dominator if I had opponent to fight against, because as you saw during like the stream, I was dominating for a lot of the time. I would go in and smash, and oftentimes when I used the Dominator, I was very victorious. And I want there to be a challenge to where, will this work? I don't know, but more often than not, I would be victorious as the Dominator. I would die, yes, but that it didn't feel like as big of a tool as it could have been, because I could have just not used it, and my robot team would have pushed the payload sooner. If I was to buy this game, it would be worth it right now. From what experience would be $40 odd game. The wait time is 2 to 5 minutes for this person. Yeah, I would agree to that too. I reckon I can finish the game in 80 hours. God, 80 hours. You think so? Yeah, because story progression is tied to your death matches, and oftentimes, like, if you want to go through the story for whatever story that they have, you want to just focus on the story and not like have the abrupt stop and go. And that may work for some models, but for this case, I don't think it's healthy for the game. So yeah, this is Exoprimal. We've enjoyed playing this game. I enjoyed playing the game. I enjoyed playing on a free weekend, but will I buy it? I don't think so. Will it be on my wish list? I doubt it. But for people who like this type of game, this is a great option for hero shooters. Yeah, this would be very fun for a hero shooter. Um, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel. But I do think that this does have potential when it works on its problems. So um, that's it for the video. That's it for this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, my name's Tyler. I'm your friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.